We are live.
We are live.
We are live.
So I kick off the intro.
Go ahead, bro. You do it, bro. You got it. You got the intro,
What's
bro.
up,
Go ahead and
everybody?
get it,
I would
man.
like to welcome y'all to Let's Talk Freedom. It's your boy Seventh Dad, the voice of the streets, two watching, so I always know what time it is. With me, as always, I got my man Sam Hell at the bottom. Give him hell, that's what's up. And we got my man Dre from Urban Country Films. You know, he's the
Yeah.
boss, the CEO of everything. So, what do we got going on tonight, guys? I know we got a couple interviews, we got a couple hard hitting topics. What's cracking for the night?
Man, it's been a heck of a week, man. It's been a heck of a week. First thing we got to do, and the first thing we got to talk about is the mutant mosquitoes that's coming to Florida, right?
Mutant mosquitoes.
Mutant mosquitoes, bro. Mutant mosquitoes, bro. They dropping mutant mosquitoes. They've been fighting this thing for more than 10 years now in South Florida, and they just introduced, or they just got the okay to release these mutant mosquitoes, these GM mosquitoes, genetically modified. Yeah, yeah, genetically modified mosquitoes, bro.
I
So
mean, but how are they modified? Do they got like extra pinchers? They give them like swords and little knives or some shit?
what happened?
I'm like, how are they modified? Do they got teeth? They give them claws. They got swords and everything.
No,
They coming
listen.
through the Indian burns. What's up?
No,
Like,
what?
what is the purpose? GM,
I like, how are they mutants,
genetic
bro?
So listen. They're mutating these things by they changing their DNA. They going
Yeah,
in
but
and
for
they
what?
to
For what
kill
purpose?
to kill other mosquitoes, right? Because okay, so
That's what we
listen.
got off for.
Hmm?
That's what we have off for.
But I mean,
Where?
no, off is no good. Apparently, off is no good for your skin. Like they've always tell you like that the DEET in the off is no good, whatever. But apparently, so I'm new to all of this, right? But like apparently, like Zika and West Nile disease, and like there's a bunch of diseases out here that that are caused by strictly mosquitoes, right? So
I do remember a few years back they shut Wynwood down because of the Zika scare. They had
right.
a couple confirmed cases out there, and Wynwood turned into a ghost town for like a month or two.
Right, that type of thing. So I guess that's what they're trying to battle. If you're watching me, if you're watching us, if you're watching me, you're sticking. You can only Facebook Live. You can only hear me. Log off of here and go to Urban Country Living on YouTube. That's Urban Country Living on YouTube. That's where we are. We got the interview coming up on right now. People are texting me. I don't know what's going on. Like I think everybody should know that we're in the middle of a show at 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday night. But what they're thinking, or what the scientists are saying behind this thing is, what they're gonna do is they got these genetically modified mosquitoes to to come in and um, basically breed with. Okay, so it's only supposed to be male mosquitoes, the genetically the mutant ones, right? They're only apparently only releasing males, and the males are supposed
They
to
don't bite
breed.
people.
And right, they're saying they don't bite people.
Yeah, females bite.
The females bite.
See, that's
I'm
why they
hearing there's an
react to you, bro. The
echo.
ladies love you, Sam Hill.
I'm hearing there's an echo on my mic.
It's that smile, bro.
Hold on one second, guys. I don't want to. I'm hearing there's an echo on my mic, and I just want to. I want to make sure my thing is, because I don't want to be overpowering y'all like that.
Yeah, sure. It's intentional. That's that commanding voice.
Hey, listen,
I mean,
listen.
that's how the CEO operates.
I sound like that anyway, so.
Yeah. No,
No, so what? So okay, so where were we? We were talking about how they take the mosquitoes and they genetically modify them to where they cannot when they have sex with the other, or they have sex or mate with the other mosquitoes, they can't reproduce pretty much.
so they're sterilizing
Right,
through
pretty much.
generations.
Through
But
generations.
but here's my question though.
Yeah.
Won't like some of that mutant DNA from the one go to the other, and then we get some kind of super Zika or some shit.
I mean, there's all kinds of, see, that's why we're having the scientist on tonight. Well, not the scientist. He has a science background. That's one of the things that people are saying is like, well, a scientific background doesn't really mean you're a scientist. But I mean, listen, these people. So basically, what he is he's with GMO Free Florida, right? We're talking about Barry Ray. He's with GMO Free Florida, and what's it called? They've been trying to stop these mosquitoes now for more than 10 years in South Florida in the Keys.
Yeah, but let me interject real quick. I could have swore that the breed that typically bites people, that species of mosquito, was already almost eradicated before in the past. My thing is if they're genetically modifying them, is it guaranteed to sterilize them? I mean, because I don't think mosquitoes are born with a disease unless it's trickled down genetically.
So the disease has got to be coming from somewhere. Please tell me in the chat if the echo is still there. I'm paying attention to the chat. I thought I got it fixed, but if it's still there, please say something in the chat for me. But I completely understand what you're saying, but my thing is, how about okay, so something eats mosquitoes. We know lizards eat mosquitoes. We know frogs eat mosquitoes. Bats eat mosquitoes. So what's happening to the bats and the frogs and whatever else?
The natural predators.
The natural predators that's eating these things, these genetically modified things. And then, like, where does all that stuff lead to? You know what I mean? Like,
animal obesity.
Animal obesity.
And when you hear from most people is that they'll say is that well, we got to eradicate the Zika and the West Nile virus, and the mosquitoes are the only way these things travel. That just sounds kind of crazy to me. I mean, I'm not a scientist, you know what I mean, and I'm not, but to me that
So
just
that's why we're gonna talk to somebody a little bit more educated.
Right. Because I don't know. I need to be
Here's my
educated.
thing.
Yeah, I need some answers.
Here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first off, don't we need mosquitoes for some shit?
No.
Because, like, no, hold on. Think about this though. Damn near every insect that we have, every animal, every plant, it's all part of a bigger circle. You feel me? You know, the circle of life. Lion King and all the little cub in the sky.
Exactly. That's my thing. No matter how annoying the little bastards are.
So if you eradicate them, aren't we kind of fucking up the circle of life, baby?
Somehow, bro.
No.
What do you mean no? How?
What do you know?
No.
So
Come on, man. That will eat something else. Whatever else eats a mosquito will eat something else. They have other thing that's on the menu. Mosquitoes serve no purpose. Piss me off.
Hey man, they said the same thing about me in high school, but here I am.
Yeah, exactly.
You figure deal?
But seriously though, man, like, listen, we're not gonna talk about these mosquitoes all night because we got a lot of things to talk about. We're gonna have we got Kamala Harris is the vice president pick for Joe Biden. So I want to talk about, a little bit of that. I think Shelly's going
All for it. Whatever I was thinking of, I just threw it away. Because between that and mutant mosquitoes, I don't even want to talk. I just want to listen. I want to engage in those conversations. And I have some questions, plus the interview later on tonight. I'm just interested within the show that we already have. I mean, the only thing I was going to bring up was the post office and the mail-in, voting and the destruction of the postal service, which is.
So I mean, that's something important that we need to discuss. And
So,
Me personally, I wanted to bring up about voting. When voting's come up, we are in election season. I need my people out there, please, for everything I love and everything you love. Do not vote solely based on your emotions, because that's the dumbest shit you can do.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you're
but
voting
we're gonna
just
talk
because
about
you
it. That,
hate somebody,
yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
not, oh my God, I just want to punch you in the eye.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. Honestly, that's one of the subjects that with the whole Carmella thing. Because honestly, I think that's why she got the pick. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's for me. I think that's why that's why she earned the pick. Um, Whatever, but that's
I
one of
mean,
the
she
things.
got her pick just because that's Joe Biden pandering to the people of color.
Right,
That's
right,
all that
exactly.
is.
That's what I feel. But hold on that thought. Before we go straight, because in 5 minutes we're gonna be doing the interview, and right now we got a comment from Rob Speed. Rob Speed is agreeing with you, John. He's saying that you're right. The mosquitoes aren't important. And I would like you guys to clarify, like, how do you figure one of God's creations somehow is not important? Like, I
It's
really
not
want y'all.
that species. That species of mosquito that bites people and transmits diseases, from what I've read, is not important to the ecosystem. You have plenty of other species of mosquitoes
So,
that
so,
aren't
oh,
to human beings.
okay,
And
so,
transmit disease.
So
so,
how are these mosquitoes going to distinguish between the disease-carrying bastards that bite you and the ones that just sit there and chill and do their thing?
exactly. So you mean to tell me? Wait. You mean to tell me we're gonna send out a bunch of male mosquitoes? We know how males act because we all males, right? We're gonna send out a bunch of male mosquitoes. They don't got no females. They don't got no females because they're not running out and sending out no females. So they going out in the world. They go look for. So you mean to tell me they got white females, black females, Spanish females, Asian females, Indian females? Wait. You mean to tell me these mosquitoes know to only go for the white females?
I mean, not for nothing. I've seen dogs hump a stuffed animal.
Look,
Exactly,
They're not even
bro.
alive beings.
Exactly.
Males will hump anything possible.
Man, please. That's real. That's real. No matter how you want to say it, that's real.
Well, unless these. Go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad.
No. That's okay. I mean, I don't know if this species particularly breeds within its own species. Like, come on, man. People force fucking tigers and lions to have sex to produce ligers. That's not a natural occurring thing.
No, but mosquitoes are.
No, I get mosquitoes are, but how many cross species of mosquito do you have? I mean,
Here's my only thing.
An expert or somebody more knowledgeable should definitely chime in.
Yeah, he will be chiming in. He will be chiming in here in a few minutes with us, and and we all looking forward to it. But what I'm trying to say is just freaking common sense. I mean, for me, like I'm not going. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, but for me, I'm a nature person, right? Like I love nature. That's my thing is nature. Like everything nature is me. So when you start messing with nature is when I feel like you got a problem. And when you're telling me that you're gonna kill, I think we got the expert. I think we have the expert Barry Ray is with us. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. We just gotta wait for his audio to kick in. But
Here's
like
my
I'm saying,
thing.
go ahead, go
Maybe
ahead.
just maybe that these mutant mosquitoes, maybe they got like higher intelligence and shit, like Skynet or whatever, and they know to pick out the right ones.
I mean, they must be putting some that in their Barry, are you with us? In their
I am here.
Okay, awesome. We don't have a video, but we do have you. We
You don't
we
have
the
video
audio.
yet? Hang
No,
on, let's see what's going on.
I think you just got to turn
Maybe
on
a
your
second
camera.
Here. Why don't we have video? Where's the settings? Settings.
Oh, hold on. I completely
Video,
forgot.
there
I screwed the
Better.
pooch. Welcome to Let's Talk Freedom, where talk is cheap, but at least the thoughts are free.
At least the thoughts are free. And we got to welcome our guest tonight, Barry Ray. Barry Ray is with Florida GMO Free Florida. Can you introduce yourself
I'm with GMO Free Florida. We are, I lead a group called the Florida Keys Environmental Coalition, and we work with GMO Free Florida when they need us to come support them and do work with
Awesome.
them. And they
Awesome.
come down here. They've been great supporters of us through all this process. They're part of our coalition. It's a very broad coalition. It includes them, Friends of Earth, Food and Water Watch, Center for Food Safety, Gene Watch UK. We've got a lot of support and a lot of experience over the last 9 years, and
Wow.
so we are a cohesive group, man. It's friends everywhere, and it's been a learning experience.
Well, I'm sure it has. So from what I'm hearing, sorry, but from what I'm hearing, is that you guys have been blocking these we've been calling them mutant mosquitoes. These genetically modified mosquitoes.
They're mutant mosquitoes.
Yeah, for about 10 years now in the Florida Keys, and something just happened to where a law just broke out or something just broke down. And tell us what happened. Tell us what's going on.
Here's kind of where we're at, because I've been immersed in the story for 9 years. All right, I've been on the front end of this for 9 years, and you kind of forget that other people don't know how it started and everything. And so basically, the problem that exists in the world is you have mosquitoes that transmit deadly diseases, and really bad diseases. They make people very, very ill, and they kill people. And so they decided that it would be a good idea if they used genetic science to create a sterile version of this, where, okay, we release all these mosquitoes, and the males would go try and mate with females, but we'll release only males, and then they won't be able to have any offspring. It's a great idea. We thought it was too at the beginning. But when we went to the first informational meeting, after they were larking around Key West trying to decide if they were just going to release them and not tell anybody, they had an informational meeting, and we all were excited to learn about this new mosquito. We thought it was a good idea because, hey, if you can use a mosquito to help, eradicate the mosquito, that's not bad. We all left there with more questions than answers. So that brings us to kind of a realization that maybe we shouldn't do this here. And the city of Key West immediately passes a resolution that says, hey, we don't want you to do it here until you answer 3 questions. 3 simple questions.
Mhm.
Who is your regulatory authority? What's your protocols for releasing mosquitoes? How close to a school can you be, or a hospital, and which way is the wind blowing, and all that kind of stuff, right? And then, what's your criteria for success or failure? You know what happened? They picked the experiment up they were going to do in Key West, and they went to another jurisdiction in the county.
Oh, wow.
We'll just do it over here.
They couldn't answer the questions. So that.
Yeah, we have to answer all those questions, all right?
I mean, I would have had way more questions than that.
Well, you got to understand, you say that, but what like shocks the world? A meme with some like sarcastic comment on it and some goofy guy's picture on it, right? So it's not quite like that. We don't actually go to that. Yeah, we'll go to that level to get the point across, right? But there's always information. There's always information behind it that's valid, all right? What we're a scientific group, and we battle them on their own turf. But we'll also battle them any way we can because we understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a company, all right? This comes down to, yeah, this is what the battle's all about. Mosquitoes are dangerous, and this company came up with a good idea to do it, and I'm going to tell you about some other alternatives out there. They're much more attractive anyway. But you've got a company that we've been dealing with for 9 years, and what they have done consistently was prove they're dishonest. All right. And so you ask yourself, are you going to like deal with somebody that is trying to sell you something and lies to you right to your face, and you go, hey, that's a lie. And then they go, no, it's not. And then a few moments later, there's a news bulletin. Hey, that's a lie. You know, and that's about as how bizarre this is. We have.
I mean, we did elect Trump.
Oh no, we have letters that show that these guys lied, and then they go, no, that's not what happens. And then later on, when they really get found out, they go, oh yeah, that's what happens. And now they're going to sell us more. And we have people in our community that have been elected to exalted to this level of power that they don't see that is a problem. But you wouldn't do it yourself, and I can tell you they wouldn't either. And that's what is so confounding. That's what we're fighting. And
so, well, what's the end game? What's the purpose of genetically modifying the mosquitoes? Period. What, just to end the species?
Okay, so there's a whole part of science. You've heard of irradiated insects, right? Right? They irradiate them because now they're shooting blanks. All right, you know, you can't actually have any offspring. Well, you know, that is the purpose of the genetically modified mosquito. They're impotent. You can't have any offspring. And the very first version, they die within 2 days. So they can't populate. They can't do anything. And and the problem ends up being is when you work with one version and you find all the holes in it, now they come out with a second version and they hide everything. That's where our issue is with this, because it's a great idea to have a sterile insect technique. It's a bad idea if you don't execute it correctly.
So,
now,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Now, is this only targeted towards a specific breed of mosquito, or is it all mosquitoes across the board?
Well, it started out with the mosquito that lives closest to humans and is the most dangerous for all of us, and that's the Aedes aegypti. All right, and there's a cousin to that, the Aedes albopictus, which is commonly called the Asian tiger. The aegypti was always called the yellow fever mosquito, but really doesn't matter. They're cousin mosquitoes, and then there's a third one, the Culex, that's pretty much where West Nile comes from. They usually bring it from the birds and bring it down to us and that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of dangerous mosquitoes in this web. But the Aedes aegypti lives around humans. It feeds pretty much exclusively off of humans if it has a choice. And so it breeds in bottle caps and trash on the ground and things like that. It's a difficult mosquito in certain environments. I'm not going to tell you that would have been so difficult here. They haven't done a good job of executing just a basic program to get rid of mosquitoes. But that aside, so, this genetically modified mosquito is addressing that particular species, the Aedes aegypti, but it's already, they're already looking at the same thing with even worse, strategy on how to use the genetic modification. They'll create a gene drive for malaria, trying to make it propagate through the entire colony as far as it can go and kill everything in this sequence of additional inheritance, genetics. So
okay, I have one question. So what's your worst case scenario of why you don't want them to release these mosquitoes? What is your main reason? Was that well, if this happens, we're destroying the ecosystem. This is why we don't want these mosquitoes. What's your number one reason why you don't want to see these mosquitoes released?
Because it's hard to say number one. There's just so many. But reality is, if you look at this in a long-term strategy, we're doing this because we're trying to make nature compatible with man. We're not trying to make man learn how to live in their environment. Right?
That's my
we don't even understand the ecosystem we have right now. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to give you a little bit of I'm a master's of science in electrical engineering. Right? So I think about math all the time. Everything I see, the whole world is math. Right? So we're going to take that species and we're going to add this thing that we don't quite understand. But it's analogous to throwing a ripple in the pond, or a pebble in a pond and watching the ripples go out, right? There's going to be things that happen out here that you didn't expect. You wanted the pebble to go in the pond and have the little splash, but all those ripples, they come later. And they work that way in nature too, right? It's not just, hey, that's physics. No, this is natural math. I mean, the Nautilus shell is a Fibonacci series. It's all math, right?
Basically like the butterfly effect.
Exactly. You look at this from the details first, because the devil's in the details. Now, take that and say, okay, we found one mosquito that's going to solve this problem, it's going to make the world more compatible for you. Well, I call it pollution because it's not natural. And you'll find that all pollution is a matter of convenience. Convenience for who? Man.
Yeah.
All right? So again, we have the same thing. It's convenient for man. It's less work for mosquito control, and it's more comfortable for us. Right?
I like
But
that.
there's other ways to do this. So what we're going to end up with is the next mosquito that's a problem. Hey, well, you'll do that too. And guess what? That other bug over there that bit me, I'm going to take care of that guy too. And we end up with this soup, this morass of synthetic species that we understand what we intended to do to it, but we don't understand what we didn't intend to do to it. And that is the absolute scary part. And guess what? I'm not alone in this thought.
You're absolutely
Who
not.
is together with me are world-renowned, actually recognized geneticists that work in this field, all right? Biologists, policy experts, ethics experts, and they got together at the end of May of this year. Unbeknownst to us, we read about the article after it came out about a week later, and they got together, they're experts, and they really had a conversation about this exact experiment here in the Keys, and they came out of that saying, no, not with the level of scrutiny the EPA gave to this technology. It's inappropriate, you can't release it. This is a fact. I can send you this. It's all available on stopgmm.com, so people can learn about this stuff. But bottom line is, this is dangerous stuff because you don't know what you're getting.
Right.
All right?
And so you guys been doing an awesome job for at stopping them for 10 years, 10 years plus now. But so now, what do we have to do now? Like, what's the difference today?
Well, it's kind of what, you know, we're the boots on the ground. We're the face of this battle down here and everything. And you know, so you get consumed by it, right? There's a lot of people down here putting a lot of time in, just mothers that don't agree with it, people that are against GMOs, but that is not the majority. It's really a variety of people that are just impassioned about protecting the ecosystem and protecting what we love down here. And this whole paradigm of unknowns, and now you add all the rest of the anxiety into it. But this is so bad for the culture of the Keys. People come here, right, to commune with nature. And now you're going to pollute it with aesthetic species. Do you really think they're going to be as enthused about coming here? So who are we going to call? Not necessarily people that care.
And that's a great point. That's a great point because I mean, on that point, you're obviously a Florida Key resident. Are you a native?
I was born in the Panhandle, Pensacola.
Okay, so you're Florida native, and decided to.
Yeah, right. There you go. I'm a Southern boy too, man.
Right. So, like, I was in a discussion over the internet, and I don't even know where this person was from. And what came out of this discussion was, oh, Florida, South Florida Keys. That's a perfect location for this kind of testing because it's not that that populated. Answer that for me. Answer that because I'm up here. I don't get to the Keys. I get to the Keys hopefully twice a year to go fishing. You know what I mean? I'm up in Fort Lauderdale. So.
I can literally go 1 mile that way. 1 mile. And you know where I will be? In the Everglades National Park. You know, if I go about 5 miles this way, I'll be in John Pennicap State Park, where the Jesus is. All right?
Yeah.
Under the water. I mean, it's famous, right?
Yeah.
So, don't strike me. So, anyway, the bottom line is we live in a wilderness. Technically, it's not, nobody lives that way, nobody lives that way.
Right.
And you're going to come in, we have 35 endangered species, and you don't even bother actually going through the Endangered Species Act review and the approval. The EPA did it.
Wow.
And you're going to release this here. It's just horrifying to me. Absolutely horrifying. Our reef dies a death of 1,000 cuts. And the next person that comes down and makes a cut, Oh, well, I can't see a connection between this and that. Well, let me tell you something. My buddy worked for 32 years monitoring Lou Key and the water quality at Lou Key. And eventually, 32 years later, that guy was smart enough and had all the skills to be able to prove that the nutrients in the center part of the state coming from the septic systems have the same radioisotope as these that are weakening our coral. All right? And it's causing them to be more susceptible and bleach out and die. And Brian LaPointe proved that. Now, what's that tell you? We barely know our own ecology and ecosystems. All right? And you're going to add a random component in, and you have no idea what it's really going to affect at the end of the day. But you're willing to take that risk, and I am not. That's it. That's how I feel about it. It is just absolutely ridiculous with this level of knowledge. And look, I am, you know, I was a really good engineer when I was coming out of college. You know, I was top of the line in physics. I was good at what I did. And I was an optimist. I could have conquered the world that day, right? But the bottom line, make a quote to me and me go out and go, okay, there's how much we're going to charge you. I go, no, I got to try add about 3 times as much, because they're optimists and they think they can do more. And so do scientists. And all these guys believe that about themselves. And they put us at risk when it's added together with companies like Syngenta and Bill Gates Foundation and these people that are driven by a different standard and a different motive that is powered by money and profit.
I like what you said earlier, John. I know you had something that you wanted to add, but I love what you said earlier when you were saying that we're not teaching man how to live in nature. We're trying to change nature to please man. And
That's right.
you know, and when you know,
Terrifying, dude.
it's crazy. I've been watching since I got introduced to the subject. I've been looking at some scientists on the opposing side of it. The subject, you know, because there are scientists that saying that we need to do this, like we need to have these mosquitoes out here. But when you listen to their arguments, that's exactly what they're saying. They're trying to, like I heard one guy, his explanation of nature was like, nature is not this beautiful thing that everybody's talking about. This beautiful a planet. It's a freaking train wreck. What? That's how you talk about God's green planet that God gave us to sustain us for the.
So
It's a freaking train wreck. Exactly. So this guy's. So I start looking at it, and right away I'm like, okay, well now I understand, because if we just deal with nature, your ass don't have a job. All of your whole life of your whole schooling and everything that you've dedicated your life to is out the window because we're dealing with nature. That just pissed me off. Go ahead, John.
I just can't believe somebody would have that kind of attitude. I mean, it just makes no sense. Look, my world is science-based. I'm a freaking nerd engineer in so many ways, and that's how I grew up. I was always that. I never dropped a point in physics going through college, right? I mean, that's what my passion was. Well, nature is physics. It really is. That's where you get it from. Physical reactions, right?
Right.
Let's see. Let's look at the sky. Astrophysics.
Jump in, John.
Nature.
Jump in. Jump in. 1 second, John. Let me hear what John has to say.
No, I just want to know, is there a reason why I get bit so much? Is there a scientific
You're just so delicious, John.
Bro, I already told you, it's that smile, bro. Them niggas love you.
I saw that some Japanese kid, well, he's an adult now, but he started when he was a child. He had noticed that he didn't get bit, but his sister would. And then something was about odor. And I've also heard that some people emit higher amounts of CO2, and that's what attracts the mosquitoes. Do you know if there's any truth to any of this? How can we repel them?
Yeah, there's truth in all of that, believe it or not. You know, there's things that you give off, certain pheromones are happening and things like that, certain odors are going off. And for some reason, children or more can detect their skin softer or something. We can't tell everything that the mosquito decides on. That is something, if not, we could, if so, we could probably make a perfect repellent. But there are, when you have that going on, you've got to understand that people are going to be susceptible to mosquitoes. There are very few people that are going to smell bad enough the mosquito's going to go the other way, right?
I mean, personally, my blood is so toxic. Mosquitoes hit me one time, they gotta go straight to rehab.
It happens, man. It happens. So anyway, the bottom line is, if you want to be part of a mosquito program, which is we all should be, is you want to wear repellents. You want to wear long sleeve clothes when you're out. Mosquitoes are going to be about. I mean, I'm just down there getting chewed up by no-see-ums, but they bite for a different reason, right? But I don't want to be out when mosquitoes are. All right, and so you do things to protect yourself. And now let's understand this: the dangerous mosquitoes, like the Aedes aegypti, those guys bite during the day. Ones that are closest to us bite during the day, and they're very docile. They'll try and attack your ankles, but the slightest movement, they'll fly away, and fly back, and fly away. They take forever, and sooner or later you stop paying attention to them. You think you've gotten them all away, and you stop paying attention. They sneak up on you.
So
That's
these
what
are,
the aegypti do. So
and those are the ones that they're worried about with the Zika and
these are the primary ones. Right now, we've got a dengue outbreak in the Upper Keys, so you may be aware of.
Okay.
And basically that's the mosquito we're most worried about. But there is the Aedes albopictus out there, which is a cousin, and they can end up being in pockets as well and passing that along. So, you never know which one's biting you. It has to be tested. You have to catch it and test it and verify that that was the one that can pass it.
Okay.
Now, is there any truth to mosquitoes that bite the Aedes aegypti, that they typically don't feed on anything past like 100 yards?
No, like mosquitoes have a range. They're born, and they're not real like, hey, I'm gonna go run a marathon type animals, right? They're looking for the next host to suck some blood out of. The females are. The males, they're looking for nectar and to go find some females, right?
Yeah.
So they have a range that's normal, and that can be as small as 50 meters, and it can be as wide as 400 meters, unless the wind blows, and then it can be a few hundred sets of 400 meters more, right? And look, mosquitoes aren't supposed to be able to fly, 8-10 miles offshore. I can tell you, you've been out there with a T-top boat, there's nothing going on. The mosquito wasn't hiding here or there, and all of a sudden you got a couple, swarm of mosquitoes around. Like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
So,
let me ask you, if our viewers want to, get more information on this or reach out and help out with your cause, where do they go to?
StopGMM.com. All right. And
StopGMM.com?
There's a couple of things there. One, it's a great educational site. We try to make it a repository. I work with a group that's part of our coalition. And you can go in there and find a donate button, which we appreciate. We've had some real nice folks. Some lady from San Francisco gave us a nice donation. But it's, we're just looking for some help there because this is a hard fight and you're not going to win it without money. We are hoping next Tuesday we can get a delay of some kind. And we believe we will, but it's nothing's certain. But we pay for a billboard and, do all this other stuff. We're getting a little recognition finally.
Right.
So we also have signs if you live in the Keys, or if you don't live in the Keys, buy a sign, put it up, and so order a sign. You can order it right there online. And you can sign the petition. Now, the petition's primarily for Florida Keys residents because we're trying to get a referendum, but hey, sign the petition, it's fine. I can sort all that out, and I just get a list and hit sort, and I'm good. All right, so if you can help, we're very much appreciative, It's, there's a lot of people fighting this fight, and there has been for a long time, 9 years. 9 years.
So Barry, I really appreciate. We all really appreciate you coming here and giving us some education on these mutant mosquitoes and how. But if we got to wrap this up, so if there's one important note that you want to leave our viewers with tonight, what's the final thing that you want to keep us with, or to leave us with?
Understand that this is not just a battle over science. You hear me talk about that. It's a battle over trust. It's a battle about the same pattern you've seen in tobacco, oil, big pharma, Monsanto, Syngenta. And Syngenta is bosom buddy with Oxitec, and that's why R.J. Kirk still owns Simmons, because he thinks he gets a home run here in the U.S. with doing this mosquito trial, and they can lie their way to success, because that's what they do in every market, lie about their results. We have that in writing. Then that's what I want people to recognize. That's the devil you're fighting. It's not the little frustrations that we're having. It is the hidden agenda behind this, where this is going. You're watching it at that seedling point where it's just sprouted out of the dirt, right? This is going to be a big, ugly plant that's going to eat humans, right? Pretty much. And I hate to be so exaggerated like that. The bottom line is, it's about trust. And this company has done everything to hide, and it's the same exact pattern. So we've got to stop them while we can. I had somebody teach me something once. I'm sitting at Ericsson. I was a corporate guy at Ericsson, and so he comes out and he's giving a big lecture in front of about 500-600 of the employees and everything. And he says, "Look," he says, "you know, you got to know how to tell the difference between a lizard and a dragon." And he goes, "Lizards, they're cute, man. You want to look at them, play with them, you know, and see what they do." He goes, "Dragon? Well, you're scared of them. They're going to breathe fire on you and kill you, you know, so it's you against them, right?" He goes, "But you got to be able to recognize it. Because when a dragon's a baby, it's just like that lizard. You got to know which one to stomp on."
That's a very good analogy. John, wrap it up.
Oh, no, man. I just really appreciate you educating us a little bit more. I'm glad. Please contact us again. Let us know, you know, any updates.
Just stay with us. The next Tuesday is the big meeting down here. We're hopeful that, you know, they will recognize that the anxiety here is extreme right now with COVID and dengue. And this is the wrong time to do this. And I'm hoping they recognize this is the wrong thing to do to the geese. So August 18th, you'll hear an update from us one way or another. But everybody out there, if you can support us and support us heartily before then, sign the petition. There's all kinds of instructions on stopgmm.com. And, you know, we want as much pressure on the mosquito control to let them know, don't do this. Do not do this. This is so wrong for everybody.
All right, Mr. Ray, have a good night.
Thank you. You guys are
Thank
fun.
you, sir.
Thank you for coming by.
Take care.
All right, bro. See you again. See you soon. We're with you.
See you guys.
All right.
Hey, Miss Shelley.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
You've been over there kind
I
of
seen you
quiet.
sneak in there.
I bit earlier than expected, but glad I was here, man. That was a really good interview and a lot of information. That was very overwhelming.
Now the pressure's on you for once, right? How are you gonna follow that?
Hey.
But no, in all seriousness, I already have an issue with mosquitoes, like the regular ones. A big problem. As soon as I go outside, I'm getting attacked. So I could only imagine with this new stuff rolling out. But I'm here to discuss one of the hottest topics of the week.
What you got?
Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion?
No. I'm not touching that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion situation. That's much. That's way too much. Mr. Sleepy Joe Biden and his running mate, Kamala Harris.
He's not sleeping. First of all,
He knows creepy Joe.
Creepy Sleepy Joe.
he is waiting for his opportunity.
I'm being nice considering the names that people call him, okay? I'm going for one of the nicer ones. So, I believe it was yesterday they announced, it was either yesterday or the day before, they announced that Harris as VP pick, and the internet went crazy. Some people were here for it. I was not one of those people. But some people were here for it. Some people were like, yes, he chose a black woman as everybody wanted him to. Everybody that was, I guess, people who would be voting for him, there was a lot of calls for him to choose a black woman VP pick. I'm not quite sure what was the reasoning behind that. Why people
You're not?
Pandering.
Really? You're not sure? Seriously?
No,
That's what you're gonna go with?
I said for a reason. Because I'm not sure if they were doing this to try for Pro because of his record of what he did to the black community. So I guess, you know, people were calling for him to do that to try to redeem himself because he had,
But the pick that he picked.
well, people who were on the fence about him come out the woodwork and say, okay, now maybe we can, you know, give him a chance.
A lot of
Because
people.
Kamala Harris is going to get him in check. But see, these are the people who don't know anything about Kamala Harris besides the fact that they're saying she's a black woman. And I'm not even going to get into that completely because up until recently, Harris was running under the pretense of being an Indian woman. So I'm not really quite sure when she decided that she was going to be black, but
I mean, her father is Jamaican, so.
no, her father is East Indian, and he's a Jamaican immigrant. He's
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
Ah.
and Jamaican is like Jamaican doesn't equal black.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm facts because it is a nationality.
Gotta watch the eye roll, buddy.
Hey, I have a lazy eye. I can't do nothing about that, and you're gonna hurt my self-esteem bringing it up something I can't do nothing about.
Are you good? You good?
so, so yeah, that's one thing. You know, that's one thing that is kind of bothering me because as a black person, honestly, I find it offensive that people who have 1/8 blackness or 1/4 blackness or whatever, they can turn on the black switch when it's convenient for them, but they don't really have any connection to the black community. They don't really have any connection to the plight that black society has experienced in this country. So I think it's insulting, especially when people were calling for him to choose a black woman as his VP pick, which, like I said, I don't really see how that's going to make a difference, but I guess it'll make people feel better. A lot of people are doing their voting. You have your hand raised.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you. I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, but just call on me when you're done, please.
Oh, I'm going straight Kanye. What you were saying was dope and all, and I'm gonna let you finish, but no, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Listen, I honestly, I talk to the black community real fast because black people, we have to get more politically mature, and this is serious because a lot of times, you know, we don't really get anything from these candidates because of the way we vote. We're not requiring anything for our community, and we're not creating an agenda that is going to produce the results that we want. So they know it's very easy for them to use symbolism to get black people to come out and vote because Kamala Harris is symbolism. Kamala Harris hasn't done anything constructive for black society. So I don't really see why people are so happy, especially considering her track record with criminal justice and how it affected black people. It was horrific.
Draconian prosecution.
Yes, her track record on criminal justice is terrible for black people. So I'm not even understanding why people are excited about that. I mean, if she could do that as a state attorney, imagine what she, you know, what type of influence she'll have as VP. I don't see why people are so excited about this. And, you know, I personally feel like it's because people are so emotional about it. And as black people, it's very frustrating for our pick to be, you know, our voting to be based on anybody but Trump. Anybody but Trump is not an agenda. And we wonder why we're not getting anything because based off of emotions and we're not being logical. Voting is a logical transaction. You need to get something in exchange for your vote. You have to come to the table with an agenda. Our agenda should not be anybody but or elect a black woman VP. That's crazy. I don't see how we plan to get anywhere with an agenda like that, especially with someone who has a terrible criminal justice record like a Kamala Harris. And then somebody like a Kamala Harris who's pandering to black people when it's convenient for her, but all the while she's been identifying as an Indian woman. To me, that's an insult. And I don't think that having her in there just by being a black woman is going to produce any tangible results for black people. So, you know, I just want to encourage people to be logical. I'm not telling anybody who to vote for, but just be logical. Look these people up, know what their track record is, because like I said, anybody but Trump is not an agenda.
It really isn't. I mean, it really isn't. And you know, and that's not. Go ahead, John.
No. Where's your video?
Oh, snap! My video ain't going.
No.
My bad, bro. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry.
No. What I was gonna say is it more so the fact that people are amped because they identify her as a black woman, or is it the fact that she's a person of color and she's a woman? Now,
That's
your opinion.
I don't know. See, that's my thing. She never really identified as black. And I don't know about woman of color. I am hearing some people saying, well, at least she's a woman of color.
yeah.
And fine, whatever. I don't care if she was a West African, blue, black. Her criminal justice record for me is horrible. And that is why I cannot support her. So
I've heard stories of her evidence that would free people, that would let them off, say like prove their innocence, and she suppressed this evidence until she was forced. She was forced to put this evidence into play.
she did that to
But I
somebody
mean,
on death row.
on the other side of the coin, you got a president that's suppressing his tax returns and not giving that information.
How are tax returns damning a person?
No, that has. No,
I don't want to make it about Republican, Democrat. I just wanted to.
No, there's nothing Republican.
But that doesn't.
His tax returns, what does that have to do? Like, how does that affect
That doesn't
like,
affect anybody.
people's lives? You know what I mean?
We're talking about affecting people's lives.
Okay, so if you're working on your own best interest instead of the country's best interest, or the common man or woman, their best interest, if you're only working on your own stuff and you're not seeing where the money's going or where your money's being made, there's a lot to be said about that. He's the only president I think that's ever done that. I mean,
I don't understand I don't understand what you mean by that statement, because from what I see. Go ahead, explain.
As in how she was just, or Seventh was just saying, she suppressed evidence during some court cases.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, these people's lives are on the in the balance, though.
I agree, dude. I agree. I'm not for one side or the other. I'm completely in agreement with what Shelly was saying, what you guys were saying earlier, is in do your own investigation. Pick who's the best candidate for you, not off of Republican, Democrat.
Right.
Oh, most definitely. I've been saying the same thing, not vote off of emotion. If you just like, oh, I'm voting for them because they're not Trump, you're already fucking up. Or I'm voting for them because I like Trump and I like the way he is, you're still not doing anything right. Look at what they have to offer. Look at their track records. Look what they have actually accomplished within the offices that they held.
Right.
And do you think they can do it at a higher level? Then by all means, pick up Creepy Joe and pick up the girl that doesn't know who she is.
I want you to finish your thought, though, John. I want you to finish your thought, because I really want to know where you were going with that. Your thought that you were
About
no, I'm just saying the way it kind of came out was, it's almost like smearing, smear campaigns or mudslinging and whatnot.
Right.
So I was just saying, as we're bringing up facts on one side, since the election is coming up, just people do your research on Trump too. Please.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
just one side or the other. Do all of it. Do your due diligence, research, pick who's best for you, for your family, that you feel that your vote is going to honor. That's all.
I get that. I
I
get
didn't
that.
want to get into no smearing or whatnot.
No, but you were saying, but you were mentioning something about you were talking about running the country, you know, for
As a private business.
as a private business, as you know, making moves on your own, make as your own for your own interest,
Agenda.
your own agenda.
Yeah.
So what I was from what right or what I've seen over the past almost 4 years, and I said this when I saw him coming in, I was like, yo, let's pay attention to the money in our pockets. Let's pay attention to the opportunities. You know, let's pay attention, and right now, I honestly don't remember a time. I'm gonna look past coronavirus because that's an uncontrollable thing, right? I
Yeah.
don't. It's well, that's what they say, right? Uncontrollable until we got a vaccine that everybody has to take, but that's a whole nother show. But I mean, at that point, you made me lost my doggone
Okay,
train of thought.
I got a thing happening here. Don't worry about what's going on, man. I got a thing going.
You know, but really and truly, what I've seen over the past 3 years is that there's more money around. There's more opportunities. People are building businesses. I see businesses are staying in the U.S. I see economical real growth. So when I think about that, in particular, what you were talking about there, John, is about running the company like a business. And Shelly and I will disagree on this, I'm sure, but that part of capitalism I agree with, to where your mic is muted, John. But the part of capitalism that says that if when companies are doing better, so does everybody else, because the bigger companies are the ones that hire. I mean, the way this organization called the United States of America is set up is the majority of people work for the minority of people. The minority of people have all the money.
Okay.
When the minority of people are doing better, they build more businesses, they open more places, they do more things, so the smaller people have more jobs. Right? For instance, let's talk Freedom, for instance. Brand new company. Right? Brand new company that just came along. There's no telling the amount of jobs that's going to come out of this one small company that people are going to be able to feed their families off of and do, you know what I mean? And do other things. So that part of capitalism, I agree with and I understand. You know what I mean? Shelly and I will disagree on that, and you might disagree too. But go ahead. Somebody jump in. John's like he's leaving us.
You see, what had happened was, I don't really know. Like through the past, I've been seeing a different change through the past 3-4 years since Mr. Trump has been in office. I've seen a lot more people act more on emotion than anything else. I've seen both sides of the spectrum resorting to violence quick, fast, and in a hurry. I've seen people that were closet racists now feel like it's okay to be openly racist. And I've also seen that, yeah, I might have a little bit of extra money in my pocket now, but is it really from Trump? Not necessarily.
How do you
I
know
worked 2 jobs. I had to find 2 jobs within the same company just to be able to make a little bit of extra change.
But is it better? Are you better off now than you were?
I was best off under Clinton, to be real.
Okay.
I was best off under Clinton. I might have been 16, 17, but I was still best off under Clinton. Gas was low, cigarettes was low. People didn't really get along, but people got along.
But gas.
Jokes were jokes. Like you were able to distinguish between the two. Now everybody is so bent, jacked up on emotions. Logic, fact, and reasoning is no longer an issue. It no longer exists there.
Only one of those things I think have to do with the president is the gas prices. Out of all the things that you just mentioned, only one thing I think that really has to do with the president is the gas prices.
Well, he made it acceptable to just spout whatever nonsense you want. I mean,
Hateful rhetoric.
But what's wrong with that? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's wrong with speaking your mind? I prefer.
it's not
No,
just
wait,
mine, man.
no.
You shouldn't mock disabled people openly like that, man. You shouldn't mock them, period, first of all.
You do it behind their backs like normal people do.
Listen, man.
You get it. I'm kidding. I'm not with that. But
No, people see that, and that's why people don't like me, because I can be brutally honest. So, and you know,
There's a
and that's
difference
where I can
between
relate with
honesty-
him.
There's a
There's a
difference
difference between
between
honesty and rude.
exactly. It's like
You don't have to be rude.
a certain lady in my life would always say,
My wife
"Oh, I ain't
always
gonna
tells me I'm
sugarcoat
rude.
shit.
My
I
wife
ain't gonna
always
sugarcoat shit." You don't have to sugarcoat things to say something properly, to politely. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a dick about shit.
No, you don't have to, but you also don't have to beat around the bush all the time.
But that's not being polite about something isn't beating around the bush.
Okay, so all right, so who are you or anybody else to tell me or Trump how to express myself?
Nobody, but you will be
Right.
judged upon how you express yourself. Like for me, dude, we got kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of us got kids, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I got one or two that I know of.
So
I done borrowed a few.
you're not gonna acting like an asshole 24/7 in front of your kids, man. It's gonna rub off on your kids, and then when your kids getting in trouble, that child is a direct representation of your parenting style and what you're teaching them. Just like racism isn't fucking inherently like in anybody when they're born. Nobody's born fucking racist. They're taught that shit. They're taught it. So all this stuff of how we have a leader speaking like that, or going back to our point of why we should be polite, or you call it beating around the bush and being honest, you could be honest without being a dickhead.
Or you can
And
be
more
a
so than
dickhead.
that, he holds the
Or you can be a
highest job
dickhead.
in the country. He holds the highest job in the country. I would expect professionalism, and speaking hateful rhetoric is not professional.
Okay, what's
Because you can't have any other job in the world
Wait.
and
Wait.
say things like he says.
Okay,
Go ahead, sir.
tell me where. Okay, you said what was the exact term that you just used? Professional rhetoric. What was it? Hateful rhetoric.
I said
Give me
hateful
an example.
rhetoric.
Give me an example.
All right.
China virus, Kung flu. I
The
mean,
Kung flu.
That's
Yeah,
where the
that-
shit
I mean,
came
that's
from.
That's
That's where the shit
Kung
came
flu?
from.
Kung flu for real, bro? That's just
Bruh.
it's funny as hell. Don't get me wrong. It is
It's
funny as hell.
disrespectful. It was disrespectful for them and the World Health Organization to hold that shit from us from from November and in January telling us that shit wasn't human to human contact. That was
Look, dude.
disrespectful. What? Seriously?
Look, man,
Bring it around, bring it back around, bring it back around.
calm down. Settle down, man. Cool off. You feel that? You feel that? Nah. Look, being an Asian American,
Yeah.
when you sit there and kick shit around like Kung flu, and once again, I said it in little jokes were being said or whatnot, You can tell when something's a joke and when something's being said out of mouths.
Yeah,
So
that
him
wasn't a
spouting
joke.
off Kung Flu, dude. What is Kung Flu? Is Kung Flu? Can you
China
define
virus.
what Kung Flu?
China virus.
It's
Goddamn.
China virus, dude.
Goddamn, what they call it,
Dude.
COVID-19, bruh. The shit that came from Wuhan,
Okay,
China,
so
dog.
hold on,
That
hold on.
shit right there.
Hold on.
That was
hold on.
purposely
You have
held
things-
back from us, dog. That shit right there, dog.
Okay, so when you have things like dengue, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what dengue fever is. We're just talking to Mosquito
Yeah.
Man
Right?
or Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's referring to fucking dengue as the African virus. Does that
They
make sense?
can. But they can.
Okay, so we can, but it wouldn't be politically correct, or
But
it wouldn't even be
Here,
fashionably
no,
nice.
here would be the biggest difference. Here would be the biggest difference. We never had somebody or the world. We never had the government of any government in Africa in cahoots with the World Health Organization, allowing or not even allowing, more than allowing, deceiving us as a country to allow this shit to get to where it actually hurts Americans. That's where the biggest difference is. And that's what makes it, for me, okay for that shit to be called Chinese virus, Kung Flu, goddamn Wuhan China virus, whatever. Because that's where it came from. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I wholeheartedly.
I don't agree with that.
Wholeheartedly. And if it was from Africa, if it was from Jamaica, Jamaica was the one that was tied, if it was from wherever, and these are the people that caused that now
Call
me
it
and my children.
COVID-19.
Why?
Just call it what it is. It's
It's
COVID-19. There's a scientific name behind it. So why are we calling it the China virus?
Because that's where it came
That's a
from.
racial term.
Because that's where it came from, and it was purposely. Listen, it was purposely held back, bro. And that makes it seem like it was an actual. Makes it seem like it was an actual attack on us. Really and truly, if I was the president, we would be at war. If I was the president, we would be at war. It would be more than just name dropping. We would be legit at war if I was the president. Y'all lucky I'm not the president. Don't vote for me. Don't vote for me. I'm telling you now. Because we would be at war. Bro, listen. In November, China and the World Health Organization knew how dangerous this virus was. They knew it was how contagious it was. That was in November. In January, they were telling Dr. Fauci that this thing wasn't contagious and it wasn't human to human. It was a human to human problem. That's 3 months they sat on this thing. Bro, we should be at war. We should be at war.
Well, on that note, we can agree to disagree real
Yeah.
quick. But Shelly, I did not mean to steer so far away from the Biden-Harris topic.
It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly okay because, like you were saying, it's very important that everybody do their homework on the person that they want to vote for. Like, this is not a popularity contest. You don't go out there and vote for somebody because they make you feel good. Now, of course, it's very nice if the person that you're voting for, they're a nice person. That's,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
that's nice.
We had that. We had Obama. We had a nice person for 8 years. How far did that get us?
Obama's not really that nice.
He was a very nice person.
I mean,
But as far as
He was very charismatic.
he always said the right thing. Like he never
He's not-
stepped out of line. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what these guys' argument is that Trump is he's a bull in a china shop, basically. Well, Obama was the opposite. But as far as policy goes, and as far as, you know, us getting ahead as a country, night and day. Night and day.
Listen, Obama is indicative of what the Democrats are as a whole. Silent and deadly, okay? They come out here and they parade themselves around as being the nice people. Meanwhile, they're doing all types of things in the background. Like, Trump is loud, yes, people don't like him, but that's why I say take the emotionalism out of it. And because at the end of the day, the people who's running for president in these two-party systems, I mean, we're never going to be 100% satisfied with them, in my opinion.
If we want
That's
somebody
why-
nice, we got to go vote for Joe Jorgensen. Really, because if we're looking for nice, because nobody on these tickets is nice.
A lot of people say it's not a democracy because they're giving you your choices. They're not even really allowing for any alternatives to get the attention that they deserve for people to know that there is an alternative. Some people don't even
My
know
question
that.
is, why do people need so much money to campaign for president?
You need to
When a
add
lot of these
other
people have the money to do it already.
I don't understand the question.
They don't want to spend their own money.
I mean, not for nothing. If we had somebody with a little bit of savvy and make all of his talking points memes, election sold up.
Listen, we had somebody. Listen, no. Go ahead.
Well, you have people already doing that for them somewhat.
Yeah. It's free promotion.
That's one of the things that Trump is a master at. Why do you think he stays on Twitter?
Because
he's
nobody
bored?
takes his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
I
only thing
follow
he can use
him
his
on
fingers
Twitter.
for.
I follow him on Twitter.
Because that's. Listen.
Look,
You
I
do.
will say this much. I don't like Trump as a guy. I do not like him at all.
I don't.
But
I don't like his character.
I
Yeah, me neither.
respect what
Me
he's
neither.
trying to do.
Me neither.
I respect what he's trying to do. I can give him a little bit of credit for what he's trying to do. And I think we need more leaders to kind of follow that role where it's like, okay, well, Congress don't want to do it. I'm going to do it anyways. If you don't like it, sue me. And I kind of respect that. You know what I mean?
That's what Obama
Like, I feel
did.
he actually does care about Americans.
That's what Obama did. His whole thing went, you know, because Congress didn't let him do anything, so he had to do everything he did was an executive order. So I mean, I don't think that's really a new thing. Not at all. But listen, I don't want to get too carried away on Trump because really and
You already
truly,
did.
listen, that was you. That was I was just responding.
It was
to
you.
I was just responding to you and your crap.
Whatever,
But
Whatever. You were the one all fired up. You was like, oh.
yeah, because you like. I mean, I don't. One thing I don't like people how to think and how to move. I don't agree with that on any kind of level. I take high offense when people tell me that I need to curb the way I speak. I take high offense from that because these are my thoughts, you know, and you know these are I'm entitled. My thoughts are free. You feel me? I don't have to pay for these, right? So you know, I don't want anybody doing it to me. So just out of that respect of don't want anyone to do it to me, I don't want to do it to anyone else. You know what I mean? Whether or not I like what they're saying.
But at the same time, the higher position of power that you're at, you should have a little bit more tact and courteousness while addressing the public.
Yes, I agree that. But That is what diplomacy is.
Unless
Presidents have to be diplomatic.
does it? Why? Why? Because no. Why? Listen.
You're not
That's
even
no.
about-
Wait. No. That's the way. But Shells.
No.
Before you go there, what you just said doesn't make sense because Donald Trump is the president, and he's not diplomatic. So for you to say you have to be diplomatic to be the president is an oxymoron.
Okay, you should be diplomatic.
Right, there you go again. But that's my
okay.
point exactly. Telling
What?
another
Right.
person what they should.
But why is he president?
I mean, people
Because
do it every
because
day.
half of them, because the majority of America voted for him. That's why.
People do this every day. Look, if I go to my job tomorrow and I talk to a customer the way that Trump talks to anybody else in the world, I'm fired. Dead ass. Like
If
he
you're-
have a higher accountability.
Listen,
Yeah,
if you're the
I mean, hold on.
Listen,
So
if you're the CEO,
so fire him then.
Let me finish. If you're a CEO of a company and you talk to people the way that Trump, if you carry on the way that Trump is carrying on, you know what you're gonna have on your hands? A hostile work environment lawsuit. So there is some tact that you have to have when you're holding certain positions.
So how comes he hasn't been sued in White House since then? Because he does have a whole freaking staff.
Well, they surely did try to impeach him. You know, it didn't go through as planned, but they, you know, an impeachment.
It's not his
I'm not
staff
saying-
trying to. No, it wasn't his staff trying to impeach him.
I'm not saying that he's going to be that way, but when you're
His staff get fired before they can sue him.
yeah, they
Bingo.
get fired.
Bingo. Bingo. So from y'all argument talking about the higher you go is the more couth you have, no, because the less people you have to answer to.
You're saying all of that to say what? You're saying
President is supposed to
Supposed to.
He-
Here
he-
you go
he's supposed
again.
to answer to
Telling
all of us.
people what they
For
should.
all of us.
Here
He's
you
supposed
go
to be
again
all the
telling
power
people what
voices.
they're supposed to do. Here you go again telling people what
No,
they're
that's the
supposed
job
to do.
description.
Yeah,
That's the
well,
description.
What is the job
what do you
description?
think
No.
about that?
What? How is that the job
Well,
description? Okay, well,
what-
fire him because he's obviously not doing his job right then.
They're trying.
Don't worry about the
Well,
line.
that's why people
Corruption's
don't want to
gotten.
elect him. Because he
Bruh.
does have somebody
Bruh, that's my point. Where the hell is Vince?
They have to,
Yeah.
he has to-
Where the hell is Vince when I need Vince? Because no, y'all
no, you have your opinion and everybody else has their opinion.
Right.
And
Yeah, why are you
honestly,
gonna tell us we're wrong?
I'm not telling
honestly, he has someone to answer to called the American public,
right,
and the American public can choose to not reelect him.
right.
So then, yes, he has plenty of people to answer to.
Mhm.
So if he wants to make himself electable, he could have some more poise. I'm just saying, we can't tell him what to do, but it
No.
might be in his best interest, and more people might like him if he wasn't the way that he is.
And
So
no,
it
and
does hurt him. It
but-
does hurt him.
you that's what you think it hurts him because that's how
It
you're
does.
looking at it. Wait a minute. This man rode Twitter and that going against the grain all the way to the White House. And y'all think he's gonna change it now? When he's got another run coming?
Doesn't
Nobody's
matter.
anything about him changing.
G.
And he did all of that.
No,
before
no,
he
I'm
was
just trying to
president.
figure out, like,
he wasn't president.
When
at
when
the
when
time.
do you take a thing that's working for you and do the complete opposite?
We're in
when
a
you
different
Cleveland Browns.
climate now. We're in a
Yeah,
different
exactly.
climate right now.
Exactly.
We're in a different climate. So the things that he did before may or may not work for him this time. They might not. We're in a completely different climate right now. Like they were saying before, people are ultra sensitive right now. So Trump doesn't have to do any curving or bending, but other people do. That's what I'm not understanding. Like, what is it going to kill him to have a little bit more poise? Is all I'm saying.
Who said other people who have to curb? It don't. I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that it's gonna hurt if he wants to, and I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't if he wants to. What I'm trying to say is, sitting here saying, "Oh, you should be this or you should do that." There's a lot of things that I can say a lot of people should be doing and shouldn't be doing. You want me to go? I'll catch some enemies real fast. Give me about 2 minutes to tell people what they should and shouldn't be doing. I'll catch a lot of enemies real fast.
At the end of the day, it's only an opinion. It's only an opinion, and sometimes constructive criticism goes a long way.
It does.
Trump is not above reproach. Trump is not above critique.
Who said he is?
And a person that's in a leadership position that thinks that they don't have to listen to anybody, to me, is not a good leader.
We got some.
So that's.
Hold on, we got something in the chat right now. So Afroview Media is in the chat. It says, before COVID, it was smooth sailing. They needed something to get him out. So, alluding to the fact that COVID might be something to try to a part of, of mashing his whole re-election campaign. And I could see
They've been trying to get Trump out since he was elected.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Since he threw his hat in the ring, they were trying to get him out. And
I
he
agree
like
with that comment. I agree with that comment because I heard someone else say that.
no, I completely agree too, because the economy was smooth sailing. Like we was riding the stock market was riding, new companies were opening, and he like the big thing, the things that like I look at when you make moves that stop companies from taking the work and taking the development from America and send it overseas, that directly gives more jobs here. When you do things like stop foreign visas, stop work visas from coming here, people that are coming here and just like these aren't immigrants that you know what I mean, like people that are coming in working in cane fields and immigrant workers, and I'm talking about big brain jobs that now are staying here and Americans are actually getting now because of the work visas that were stopped because of coronavirus. Like little things like that, man. These are the things that I look at. Like, I don't give a damn. To me, I've watched him milk America, because it doesn't matter what you say. I don't care how you feel about it. All publicity is good publicity. All publicity is good publicity. These people that are on the internet every day singing Trump's name are building his name. They're
In one way or another, you're right. You're definitely right. In one way or another, you are definitely right.
continue.
It can either be the rise to the top, or it could be the part of your downfall.
But
Yeah,
I
I
agree
mean,
with that. I agree with that comment, and
But-
this is the reason why I agree with that comment. Because when you think about what Trump talks about all the time, and what kind of probably got him in there, was his stance on the economy and him saying what he has done for the economy.
The forgotten American people.
Yeah,
The
but
forgotten American people.
Trump runs on that. That's Trump's thing. He always talks about what he's done to help the economy. So if you did want to hurt his chances, or if you did want to hurt him, plummeting the economy would be the perfect way to hurt him, because that's mainly what he talks about.
I think the majority of Americans see past that, though. I think-
real quick,
Go ahead.
it's almost 9:30.
Oh
I
wow.
just want to do it.
Oh,
You got
wow.
2 minutes. But
Oh wow.
let me finish my thought real quick, and that is to say that I
wow.
am not taking a stance on the president. I am just simply stating my opinion that I do not like his character that he portrays.
I
That's all.
understand. The chat is going. I gotta go visit the chat for a second. Let me see what's going on over here. You guys finish up your conversation. Don't mind me. Okay, so Afroview Media says, who said Trump doesn't listen to the people? That's left talk. He listens to everyone. I watch all his interviews and sit down with business and states that actually like him.
He
That's
did,
gotta be
he don't listen to everybody. Cause I tweeted him many times asking him to get a presidential pardon to get my record the hell up out of here, and I get no reply. Not even a like, not a retweet, nothing.
Afro-
I've asked him numerous occasions to take my record so I can be a full member of society again and not just a little dude that's creeping in. And I do have voting power, don't get it twisted. I do have the power to vote.
Afroview always says, okay, one more time. One more
See
comment
where
real
my
quick.
guys at.
Afroview also says he listens well. That's why the economy was great. He listened and followed through. He runs the country like a brand, like a business.
Like
He
his
wants
business?
to please, like a business. He
Oh.
wants to please everyone.
Oh.
I agree. I agree. I agree with the comment. I honestly agree with the comment. The man runs America like a business, and I think that's what's shocking to a lot of people. Like, oh my God, this really is a business. Like, oh my God, like, really, like this is not just. It's not just a free for all. It's not just a bed of roses. Like, there's work that goes behind this to make this great country that everybody talks about or aspires to live in.
But I mean, when you take a look at what was that?
That's Lucci probably.
Oh,
What I do?
nothing.
Man, if you hear, I got a road right next to my crib, bro. Man, it's one. I'm not gonna tell you what street it is, but people race up and down my 7th Ave constantly, all day, all night long.
Well, anyways, where are we at with the last interview?
It was confirmed earlier, and I gave him the login info, so he should be trying to break in.
All right. Yeah, nah, dude. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. What else is in that news?
Bro.
I heard something along the lines of, since that her parents weren't natural citizens, weren't citizens, and something about how she's not really a natural citizen, and how she really can't take the role of vice president because of this fact. But I thought she was born in Oakland. Am I correct here? Am I saying nonsense? Am I misinformed?
I got no idea, bro. If she's on the ticket, I mean, she's on the ticket. She's on the ticket. I don't think there's. I don't think it's it. At this point right now, I don't think it's the time to be thinking about whether she can actually have the job. I'm pretty sure they went through that by now. I would hope. I mean, it is Sleepy Joe, but I would hope.
I don't think everybody's really doing their due diligence this year. I think they're just going to try to sneak by things because.
But she was trying to be the president, so. And
she was trying to be the president.
And they smeared the hell out of her when she was trying to be the president.
That's
Boy,
what I'm saying. That's kind
of
of funny for her to be a vice president pick after everything they said about her trying to be president. They could say again about her trying to be vice president.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's just like she was chosen to lose. That's why I took some heat yesterday for this because I was in a Jamaican group and everybody's all singing Kamala Harris. Oh yes, this, that, the other thing, and I'm just like, well, first of all, who the hell remembers? It looks like your interview's here. First of all, who the hell remembers your You gotta connect your audio. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show interview.
Is it Kamala Harris or
Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala. Kamala.
Kamala.
All fucked up. I'm
Like a
glad I go around,
chameleon.
you know.
Chameleon is what I fucking call her because she's one of these people that chameleon.
Kamala Harris.
Chameleon Harris. Chameleon Harris. Because like just like a chameleon lizard, she will change like the weather. Like today, whatever the hell is going on, she's one of these politicians that's gonna say whatever the hell it is that she feels that you want to hear at that very moment.
Yep.
How's her name spelled? Kamala?
Yeah, I think so. I know it's pronounced Kamala. Kamala.
It's pronounced Kamala? Okay, because I saw this the other day. I brought it up. Huh?
She's Shelly saying no.
No.
Not Kamala. So it's Kamala.
Right.
Okay. So I just thought it was a weird coincidence that this week has been a week of two Kamalas because you have the Biden Kamala Harris. And then earlier this week, James Kamala Harris passed away. You don't know who he is? He was a wrestler, Kamala, the Ugandan giant. And yeah. And I didn't even know his last name was Harris. They're not related. I mean, regardless.
Lawson.
So her name is so interchangeable because it all depends on what she's choosing to identify as that day. Kamala sounds more Black American, and Kamala is Indian, sounds more Indian.
Okay.
So it all depends on what she wants to be for the day. That's why he called her a chameleon, because she changes when it's beneficial.
Yeah, go ahead, Lucci. Let's introduce your guest, 7th Ave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
What's up, Brandon?
What's
Welcome
going
to
on,
the show,
G?
my dude, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right, man. Long time.
Good to have you, bro. Good
It's
to have
been a
you.
long time, man. So go ahead and introduce yourself to my panel and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Well, my real name is Brandon McWhorter. But everybody know me as Soul City. Part of the Diplomats family, Silverhawks. You know what I'm saying? Do a lot of big time music, but I actually dipped in a lot of acting. So, right now, the music is kind of secondary. Even though I'm about to release a new project, it's like secondary to what I'm trying to do, film wise.
So, like I said, I know you as being Soul City, man. Cleveland boys, man, hometown and all. How did you make the transition into film?
I had a lot of friends that were into film at a certain point when I was, when I was going hardcore, just hardcore into music, you know what I mean? And I got pulled in to acting by one of my mentors. Her name is Melanie Jarbo. She's a award-winning playwright multiple times. And she pulled me into theater, actually. You know what I mean?
Really?
And yeah, so my groundwork is different when it comes to the acting because the way I was raised in film and acting, I was brought up on the stage. So, that's how I really gained a real passion for acting. But then I got a couple of guys that, are close friends of mine that really made me want to indulge in film, like my homie Logan Kingston, my homie Orlando Da Vinci, my homie Dana Kilgrew, my homie Fred Bryant, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people that were surrounding me that I watched them do stuff in film, and I'm like, you know what? I got skills in this too, so I started jumping in it, and when I started jumping in it, it started making some noise.
So you got a new movie coming out, right?
A new movie I'm in, yeah, for sure.
What movie is that? Go ahead and tell my folks about it.
It's called Judas and the Black Messiah. It's starring Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield with quite a few other up and coming famous, actors that's doing their thing for sure.
Is there a synopsis you can give us?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Synopsis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the movie is about Fred Hampton, the leader of the Chicago division of the Black Panthers, and he came to be the actual second in command before he was traded on by one of the Black Panther members that was, you know, in his section, and, you know, he kind of traded in, you know, the FBI murdered him. And, you know, he's, Fred Hampton is, one of the reasons why, in every city in America is damn near a free lunch program. And, you know, it's things like that, you know, from our standpoint in history that we started that was taken over by other institutions. You know what I'm saying? Things that we created. So, you know, it's touching on that situation and him in general, but in the movie it surrounds a lot of key points of stuff that, you know, people wonder where things come from today. You'll see a lot of things implemented in that movie, but basically it's definitely about Fred Hampton.
That is awesome, man. Luke?
Okay, so what was your biggest challenge of taking on this role?
I'm gonna be brutally honest. Like, it was like it was a night. Well, it was a morning. I woke up at like 3 in the morning. I got an email, and the email was like, "Yo, go submit for this. Like, try to be an extra in this." You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? It's not hard for me to get in where I fit in. So if I'm gonna get in and be an extra, plus it's paid, let me go do that. You know what I mean? And I actually, you know, am familiar with the casting company that I went through, and I did a couple of movies with them before, and I started sending pictures of my look, and, you know, the next day I was like, you know, got accepted to be an extra, but then days later I get another call, and they like, look, we got to stop the ball, like, we want to give you like a feature role. And so when they gave me a feature role, basically it was surrounding a lot of key points in the film. So I play a core member of the Black P Stones group, but due to legal issues, they had to change that name. So, and I'll wait till, you know, y'all see the movie to see what name they changed it to. But the trailer had just dropped, and I did a lot of stand-in for Lakeith Stanfield and a couple of other actors that were main on the movie. Also,
That's what's up, man.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
So I got a quick question. When exactly did you say the movie's dropping?
well, honestly, you know, due to, you know, this COVID situation,
Yeah.
they had, you know, Hollywood shut down, which we all know. But before any of this transpired, they had a date of August 21st this year.
Okay. Push back.
They just dropped the trailer to it.
Okay, so we don't have an actual full actual release date yet.
And yeah, you know, when I seen the trailer, it said only in theaters, and then I'm thinking, like, well, why would you guys wait to come out next year when the theaters is about to open on August 20th? You know what I mean? So
that box office streaming that a lot of people are doing now too.
right. So I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying, I get the luxury of, you know, being able to indulge in that box office streaming if it's going to be on there. But, you know, when they put stuff like only in theaters, and then, you know, a lot of times they mean what they say. They'll put it only in theaters for a short period of time, and then it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Previous to this, I was in White Boy Rick, and I still haven't seen that movie.
Seriously.
Wasn't a bad movie. I seen it.
I keep hearing, look, I have a lot of people who was like, yo, when you in White Boy Rick? And I'm like, just look, man, like, I was an extra, but I was one of those extras that was noticed, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, and I still haven't seen the movie, and I'm like, look, out of all the movies that I've been caught up on, I still haven't sat down and watched White Boy Rick. I haven't.
I have a question. Hello.
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Actually, I'm very excited about this movie. I can't wait for it to come out. I did a lot of studying on the Black Panther Party. I love history, especially Black. So, what was it like for you mentally preparing to play a role like this? Because this is such a powerful group of people that this movie is about. So, how was it for you preparing for this film?
My answer is a little bit extensive. When I first got a part, I was an extra. So I was just looking to, you know, play my extra role, you know, and get my money and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Because it's, you know, in movies, it's so many extras. It's like you don't even know if you're gonna get camera time. But to be called back and say, look, your look is, the director, Shaka King, like, look, I like his look. We need him up here, up front. Hey, we need him in a featured role. So basically, I have no speaking, but I'm in a lot of the main, I'm seeing a lot of main excerpts in this movie. It's a scene in the trailer where you see the character that Lakeith's playing is he's running out the bar and he's jumping over the car. In that scene, I'm right behind you. Come out, we trying to get out. I don't want to tell y'all too much because
don't spoil it.
Once I got a closer role, then I had to actually put myself in a mental state like, hey, yo, look, I can't be doing this like I do any other movie I've been in. Like, this is a part of my history. This is a part of, you know what I'm saying? Our culture is something that's embedded in history. I have family members that was a part of that situation. You know what I mean? So to be a part of it for the director, Shaka King, he's a very, very good guy. The AD, Bonita Allen, I love her. She's from England. She's a very, very, very nice lady. I learned a lot on set from them, but it was more so an honor to play it just because of the situation, the culture, and, you know, things that's historic. It kind of, this movie I'll hold dear to my heart because it's one of a kind. Nobody tried to attack this situation yet.
And the name of that movie for the listeners, just so we keep, you know, so we keep it fresh in their heads.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay. Sorry to cut you.
No problem.
Vince, how you doing?
Peace, people.
What's up, token white boy?
Man, I apologize, guys. Salutations and greetings, and I'm so tired. I was doing roofing today, and I'm dead.
Oh man, I used to do it. It's madness. It's madness.
Right? Props to you, man. Anybody who can get up on our roof and blaze in the sun like that, oh,
Man.
but gotta grind. I'm the Jamaican white boy. I'm not actually Jamaican, but I work 3, 4, or 5 jobs.
Nice to meet you. I like you, man.
Peace, bro. Cheers.
For sure.
So, all right, I just got one more question for you, my dude. And like, actually, like, what does this film mean to you, man? Like, why should the people go see this film?
If you don't know anything about the Black Panthers, it would be very informative for you to go and check the movie out if you have people that has always heard bad things about the Black Panthers. You know what I mean? And if you are, I say, stupid enough to just go by hearsay and not want to see yourself, then that there is a problem. I feel like if you go see this, it'll put you in another perspective of where my people's shoes were in at a certain point. And like I said, even on set, it was very touchy. A lot of the acting scenes, a lot of the dialogue, it was touchy, but at the end of the day, you have to be in a mental space where you can't take it personal because we're reenacting history and real events. So if you really want to get information, a lot of people say Black Panthers and they never really say too many people's names. So this situation is actually focusing on somebody you can actually go and get information from. You know what I mean? And shout out to Fred Hampton Jr. because I spent a lot of time on the set with his son. Great dude. Great dude. Great.
I was just asking that question if you got to meet him because I would love to.
I actually got to chit chat and hang on the set with Fred Hampton Jr. They actually call him the chairman because he's actually the chairman of the next group of that situation. Actually, Lady of Rage that used to be with the Dog Pound and Snoop Dogg. She was a part of this whole situation. It was awesome being on the set with her as long as I was on the set with her. And it for our culture, it has to, you have to go catch it. You have to go catch it. Or you will still be stuck in the dark about what you may think about that particular group. Because there were many. There were many.
On that note, real quick, I got the trailer, guys. You guys want to look at the trailer real quick?
I do.
All right, let's do that. Can you guys see it? You guys can't see it?
No.
But I feel it in my heart.
Oh, I know what I gotta do. Oh, okay. I know what I gotta do. Give me 1 second.
Hey, y'all stand by on that. I do have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Not you. Our guest. I love you. So being that I'm the other guy here, tell our listeners, what are your thoughts? Like, how would you motivate white people to go see this with an open mind? And I apologize if you already answered that question. I just
No, I didn't. Let me tell you something, because I'm gonna make this clear from my perspective. History tells points of view from each side, right? And then you'll have people that view and are more attached to the likeness of one side, and then there'll be some type of way. First of all, I don't think all white people are bad, right? And all black people are not bad, and so on and so forth. But in this,
all white people are bad.
Listen, I don't think so. But this is the thing, right? When you
I don't trust them.
When you go see this movie, then you'll learn about the white American groups that were a part of the Black Panthers. You want to know, you want to get some insight on this history, then you got to understand, we all play a part in this history. You get what I'm saying?
Well, it's definitely something for everybody to see.
Absolutely. Even my Latino family, go and see it, because there were groups that were in the Black Panthers that were Latino sections. You want to go see, and you want to, this is for the culture on many aspects at the end of the day. It's our history, but you guys are a part of that at the end of the day. At the end of the day, there's so many groups. And you wouldn't know if this information wasn't being released now. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, we got the trailer up, so I'll shut it up.
Oh, you got it? Oh, my bad. I didn't even realize it was up yet.
I was being a filler.
The value.
Okay, my bad. All right, here you
What
go.
up, Miss Shelley?
Hey,
There ain't no volume, man.
You're not hearing the volume?
Nah, I don't. Audio.
The people are hearing it.
Okay. As long as
the people can hear it. Yeah.
they got subtitles.
With the sound, it's very powerful.
It is very powerful with the sound. I'm hearing it in my ears.
Okay, so our audience hears it?
Yeah, audience hears it. They also hear us talking.
That's all that matters, right?
You're looking at 18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating a federal officer, or you can go home.
The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color.
Their aim is to sow hatred and inspire terror.
I will learn all that I can.
These ain't no terrorists.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution.
I wish you guys could hear this movie.
You can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
Is that the gentleman from Get Out?
Yep, both of them.
Okay.
I know Lakeith from Atlanta.
Funny dude in real life, man. Funny dude.
Yo, this is gonna be really good, bro. This is gonna be really good.
And pretty sure they trying to run for an Oscar nomination for this because it was Oscar nominating performances when we was doing it. So
I got a quick question. Were you already well versed within all the history of this, or did this open your eyes to a lot of things that you didn't previously see?
Oh no, I'm well deep into a lot of history and a lot of information and stories from a lot of different divisions, and this one just takes place. This one just so happened to take place and focus on the Chicago division. But this guy that started the Chicago division, he actually became to be the second in command of the whole national situation of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And he was what, 21.
Jesus.
Wow.
Jesus.
This is gonna be good.
I definitely gotta catch it. Yeah, I gotta catch this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a powerful. It's gonna be a powerful situation.
I don't know, just because you were in it.
I appreciate it.
I'm not kidding. We gotta, this is why it's good to do the shows like we do and whatnot. It gives people a chance to know who you are, and it gives people some background and some depth to whatever the topic is, the conversation, etc. So I think it's really important to do stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate
that. I appreciate y'all bringing me on. Actually,
Hey, no problem. Like I always say, when I see people from my city, Cleveland, there's a lot of us trying to do some good, and a lot of people don't get that actual outlet to be able to do something with it. So I see somebody doing something positive, doing something good for the community, doing good for the culture. Like I have to reach out and say, like, yo, I have this platform. Let me share it with you. You feel me?
Facts.
Lucci.
Say it again?
Yeah.
Lucci, 7th Ave.
Yeah, man. Listen,
I gotta ask a personal question. You completely clear. Does Lucci like kittens?
You know what?
You don't have to answer.
Kittens.
If you don't know, it's all good.
Like kittens, like baby cats. Kittens.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Shit, I like kittens.
Does Lucci like kittens? All right, that's it.
I do not hate
Look,
kids.
he might
Gotta throw that out there.
He might say that ain't
You
bad.
walked into a mess. You don't have to answer that.
Yo, man, go ahead and wrap it up, Luch.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. We're gonna be looking forward to Judas and the Black Messiah, and we're definitely be looking forward to your upcoming music releases. Be sure to keep us in touch with that, and I'll make sure the followers get to listen to it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Dipset all day, Lemon Haze, Silverhawks. You already know.
Well,
All right, man. Be easy, bro.
Peace.
Yeah, I was hoping he would drop like his Twitter handle or Facebook.
that's because the interviewer never asked.
This is like my second interview ever in life.
Hey,
But I have this information, and I will make sure that everybody out there in TV land and YouTube land and internet land, y'all all gonna get to hear, Soul City. I got y'all. Don't worry about it.
White Mocha, man, what happened? I know you was out there all day, man. We needed some of your expert advice.
What was the advice?
Bro, I really needed you, bro. They tried to gang up on me hard, bro, when you weren't here. I cannot have you not here, Vince.
You tried to gang up on us.
How can I gang up on y'all?
I draw the
Because
line.
you got louder than the rest of us.
Andre, y'all can get a couple cheap shots on, not Miss Shelley though.
But did you hear what they said? I ganged up on them.
Arguing with her.
Bro,
I mean,
they
you're the
went,
CEO,
bro. I needed some help bad, bro. I needed some help bad, bro.
I got
Vince,
you.
man, you threatened to walk out on us.
I apologize to the listeners as well as my friends here within the panel. I had a hard day at work, so I didn't get in until late. I had to eat, and then I got a phone call. So
Hey, listen, we appreciate you
I just
actually.
want to know that Lucci hates kittens.
I do not hate kittens.
Hey, listen, I'm setting
Allegedly.
Seven. I'm setting you up to have a t-shirt and hat business that says 7th Avenue does not hate kittens. Bro, people are going to be ordering them left and right from Urban Country Films. You know this.
All day.
Man.
Well, you're going to bang. Make
I
sure
might
you
have to
bring
go for
up
4 watches, brother. Put 2 on the wrist, 2 on the ankle, man. You never know.
Listen, you're not gonna have a swap shop Rolex for long if you make them shirts like I told you.
Hold on. I do not have a Folex. Never have I, or never will I have a Folex or one of them Geneva watches with the Ferrari kits. That's a no, sir.
John, you got
I am
anything
a
you want
watch
to rock out with?
connoisseur.
I need you
I am
to
a watch
let me
connoisseur.
borrow one. Just one.
Just one? I got you.
I got the hookups. If you guys want real watches, or if one of the listeners needs a real watch, I have a who actually does buy and sell Rolex watches, real ones. He's a real deal. So I'm just plugging him.
Boom. I'm gonna need you to stop plugging these dudes, bro.
Yeah, dude.
What does your wife think about you plugging all these dudes, bro?
Just for plugging people, I have to give a huge shout out, and I repeat, a huge shout out to RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan and Good Humor for finally changing the ice cream truck jingle. If you guys haven't heard it, check out my Facebook fan page, The 7th Ave, and I have it posted there. You can hear the new jingle that the RZA came up with to take care of the old racist song that was originally played since the beginning of time.
What is it now?
Shout out to the
You
Wu-Tang.
just have to check it out. It's probably gonna be like.
Woo is for the children. Remember that.
Oh my God.
So you gonna post that on the Let's Talk Freedom website?
Yeah.
We will send it that way as well.
That'll be posted tonight. Website, Let's Talk Freedom website. So
You want to check me out? You can find my Lonely Loser Twitter account, Lost in the Future now.
yo, my Twitter is
like
so
that,
depressing, bro. No. Twitter for me is like so depressing, bro. I got 4 followers, bro.
Dude, okay, so I just started and I got like 36, right?
You're just not
Hold on.
actively on there. You
That's
have to be
my-
active on Twitter.
I don't got the time. I
You
really don't
have
have
to
the
be active
time.
on Twitter.
I keep on going back up
the Twitter
to
pin tab. I have 13 followers.
Listen,
13.
Okay, so I'm
No, seriously.
leaving this one.
Twitter's where it's at.
listen. I understand you gotta spend time on Twitter, but I need to hire somebody for that. So if you're out there and you
And you want to help Lucy sell I Don't Hate Getting T-shirts for Urban Country? We got you.
listen, guys, with that, you gonna sign it off? Who's doing the sign off?
I say, Mr. Vince goes ahead and sign us off since he was super duper late. Come on, man. Bring it home. Bring it home.
All right. Well, thank you, all of our listeners. Thank you for everybody who's checking us out for the first time or for the last time, hopefully not. Mark these names, like these people on Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is. You guys got to give your own plugs because I'm not going to plug no one no more.
Good job.
Still a bit of plugging. Thank you. Check out Miss Shelly Speaks Truth on YouTube. I've listened to her channel before I knew who she was. I am very honored to be a part of a show with her because she is the bomb. Anyone else?
I'm gonna. Anybody else gonna sign it off? Because I'm gonna close it out with a word from our sponsor.
Okay, then I will say, hold on. Don't be a dick. Okay? Not you. Whoever's out there. Don't be a dick. Be a better person. That's it.
Every day. Amen. Preach.
And I am 7th Ave, the voice of the streets. 2 watches, so I always know what time it is. I love y'all. I love my life. I love my fam on this panel right here. Y'all be easy.
Urban Country Films, y'all. We're done. We're off here.
I'm sure you can see it. Brick and mortar businesses crumbling in front of our very eyes. Movies, music, media, sports, all forms of entertainment is changing in front of our very eyes. What if these changes are for you to be more successful in your endeavors? And what if you set yourself up to succeed in this new technological climate? urbancountryfilms.com. Let us build your brand new website today. We